again at the Royal Opera House called the Kungliga Operan in Swedish. This time for the premiere of Gustavia. Gustavia is not just a premiere but also a world premiere, in the sense the first time that anyway this ballet has been performed anywhere in the world. Of course, the topic reverberates because this Gustavia is a topic that deals with Gustav. Gustav III was a popular monarch king of Sweden in the 17th century, and then this is another Gustav whose story is told here in this ballet. He was a passionate ballet dancer as well, and before the show they had a talk in which they explained about the color themes being majorly blue, because blue is kind of the color of Sweden. The flags of Sweden are also in blue and yellow, and they visited the royal palace and other stuff, and then they stressed on the on bringing up this part of the history of Sweden to anybody, because this part is relatively unknown or to people, and that stress the importance of for people to know this part of the history of a Gustav who's existed and whose passion was ballet. This is kind of a biographical ballet, and in which we see obviously the biography of a person or a part of his life, not probably they represented about 20 years of his life, and then of his life that concentrates mainly on his childhood and youth. And then there were many biographical ballets like Meyerling. Meyerling was a gruesome. It dealt with the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Prince Rudolf of Austro-Hungarian Empire, and who was the son of Franz Joseph and Sissi, and he had a troubled kind of a childhood, and then it shows his loneliness and struggles, and his affairs with various women and so on. This is of course that was more gruesome, in which finally he's killed, or he's commit suicide. He and his lover Mary Wetzera commit suicide in Meyerling Lodge in Austria. But this is like similar to that biographical ballet. The whole biography of, for example, Meyerling is represented in a ballet, which is spectacular, especially the production from the Royal Opera House, London. I think it was Frederick Aston who composed it from London, and similarly this is a biographical kind of a ballet in which deals with the life of Gustav, a passionate ballet dancer, and also a member of the royal family, obviously. And then because each of some of the main characters are portrayed in 2 by 2 people, because to represent the different phases of his childhood and youth and so on. And it's really good and great to be seeing a world premiere, because these usually what happens is many of the ballets and operas that we see in today's world are made tens or hundreds of years before. Usually they would have been set in the 17th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th centuries. So it's almost very difficult to see a ballet that's or an opera that's performed for the first time in the world. And then this ballet, if it becomes really popular, then it may go on to become another classical ballet that we see today. Many of the ballets that we see today, the important ballets like Don Quixote or Giselle or Manon, Meyerling, La Bayadere, or many other the popular ballets that we see today, or the forever trio of Nutcracker, the Swan Lake, or the Winter's Tale, or the Sleeping Beauty. All these ballets were many of them were composed centuries before, and so they had their world premieres before we were born. And so this is seeing a world premiere for the first time itself is like a unique thing, because you really see almost, because the people who were talking before this ballet, the premiere talk, so to speak, they were saying a lot of things about how they been conducting research for 2 to 3 years before this ballet. They had extensively studied the royal palace, the royal vestments, and the royal dresses and everything. And then how things might have looked in the 18th century, because this is from a biographical ballet from Gustav of the 18th century, who was a passionate ballet dancer. Incidentally, Stockholm Opera House had its origins in the 18th century, so kind of topical reverberation there. So it's speaks a lot about the biographical ballet. Is very difficult, especially my immediate coincidence is something to akin to a Meyerling, which deals with, of course, the Austro-Hungarian Empire and Prince Rudolf of the Austro-Hungarian Empire and his sad and tragic death of his and his lover Meriwetz. This is, of course, from Sweden. Other ballets, everything is spectacular, the dances, the musicians, the music and the musicians, and then the sets. The sets were also very spectacular. The predominant color was blue, because blue is the color of Sweden. Blue and yellow is like the royal color of Sweden, and then the also the sets that they created were very good, the royal settings. And then what I liked this is, of course, only the first half, but I like the stage within the stage, kind of, because Gustav was a ballet dancer, and then they created a stage in which he his and his associates dance, and so they created a stage within a stage, kind of, we are already in the ballet theater in the stage, and this is like kind of a small stage inside a stage. So it was funny that way. So that's spectacular in a way, seeing the world premiere, the very first time of any ballet, or even an opera for that matter, being played out. And imagine the stress of the people who are behind this fantastic production, many sleepless nights, obviously many years of for them of hard work has come to fruition today. So they were all speaking, the people who are behind the sets, people who are behind the costumes, and in a ballet especially the shoes are very important, the pointe shoes as they are called for the ballerinas. And it's almost a life. When I did the backstage tour of London, Royal Ballet and Opera London, the person there was saying that some of the pointe shoes the dancers themselves design, because it's so unique for their foot, and they must feel comfortable, and they must not get hurt, and so on. And it must not, when they tap their foot on the stage, it must not break, and it must be resistant. And then usually like Stockholm Opera House, Royal Opera House, like any other opera or ballet house, has its own in-house a factory kind of setup, not factory but a workshop kind of workshop, in which they do the sets, and they could do the costumes, they do the shoes and all this stuff. There is a backstage tour for the Stockholm Royal Opera House as well. So they do this like a fantastic effort, because many years of effort. Usually any opera or ballet to be created, or even an existing opera and a ballet to be recreated, it takes usually years. It takes 1 to 2 years or 2 years, and then because they have to deal everything from the costumes, they initially make the sketches of the costumes, then they make a small set of the sets, and then in a small opera house they have a small box opera house, and then in the box they try to see how the sets fit, and then they make the designs and drawings of the costumes. Then they focus on the materials for the costumes, because they must be resistant, and and then they focus on the shoes, then the lighting coordinator and the sounds coordinator, and then so a lot of effort. It really is spectacular, because probably because I used to do software solutions and mobile apps for airports, airlines and aviation industry. So I think I like anything that has a lot of precision in it. I think like opera ballet is a lot of precision, or the production of wines, champagnes is a lot of precision. So anything that has precision engineering, I think, or the cruises have a lot of precision engineering and technology with them. So anything that's high tech, precision, then I think I tend to like it. And ballet and opera is also an engineering behind. I mean, everything, all these kind of things are coming together in tandem to create this amazing opera or a ballet. And so this is one more, probably it succeeds and people like it so much, and then it succeeds worldwide and becomes a, another hit like forever evergreen hits, or forever iconic hits like Don Quixote or Giselle or Manon or Mayerling or Nutcracker or Swan Lake or any other great ballet. And so all the best to the crew.